Today, we're taking a look at 10 cases you can get right now for the S22 Ultra. We'll go over the good and bad points so you can protect your S22 Ultra from day one. Let's kick things off with one of my favourite official Samsung cases, the Clearview, which is available in white, black and red. As you can see, we've obviously got ours in white, which will probably show dirt fairly easily, but it also seems to clean off fairly easily too. Now, if you've had Samsung's Clearview case before, you'll instantly notice that this one is slightly different, as the viewing window is now a rectangle at the top right rather than a strip down the right hand side of the phone. One benefit to this is when you flip the cover all the way around, you'll actually still be able to use the cameras on the back of the phone. As we don't yet have the S22 Ultra and just have this dummy device, we don't actually know what you'll be able to do through the window. But from what I can see from the website, you'll be able to see the date and time, answer calls, and pause and skip your music. Another difference between this window and the previous version is that there's nothing in the way of the screen. This means it is a little bit more exposed. However, with this case, it's still a lot more protected than if you had no cover at all. Moving on to this OtterBox Strada wallet case, which is another flip cover style case, but when closed covers the whole screen, so you'll be even more protected. It's also a little bit bulkier than the Smart Clearview case, so it will protect your phone that little bit more. If you flip the cover all the way around though, it will block the camera, so you have to hold it open like a book when taking photos. In the flip cover, there's also a couple of slots for credit cards or train tickets. These are useful, say if you're going to the gym and just want to take your phone and not your wallet as well. When closed, the cover is held down by this magnetic clasp, which is a nice touch as it can get fairly big if you put a couple of thick credit cards in. You will also be able to talk on the phone while it's closed thanks to this earpiece cutout at the top of the cover. Both these flip covers cannot be used to prop up the phone, which is a real shame as I think it would not have been hard to add this function in. Next up, we have this Ringke Fusion X case, which has a hard plastic back and then rubber edges. There's some nice touches on this case. For instance, the buttons are nice and flexible, so they feel good and responsive on the phone. Then, the power button has these little grooves all the way along so you know which one it is. The volume up also has 3 dots on, so you'll know which one you're on even before you press it. Moving on to the rest of the sides of the case, there are some little dots all the way along, which creates a good amount of grip and does make it feel a little bit more secure in your hands. Although if you're prone to dropping your phone often, you might want to consider attaching a lanyard or wrist strap. That way, even if you let it go, it won't hit the floor. There is a nice lip on the top and bottom of the screen and also around the camera. However, thankfully, all 4 corners are the case at the same level, so it doesn't rock around when you put it flat on a table. Overall, this is a good case which provides good protection, and I like the clear back as you can easily see the colour of the phone you've purchased. But if you are looking for a clear back though, we have some more options to show you. Let's start with the Olixar Novashield. This is a little bit less aggressive looking in comparison and uses clean lines rather than lots of angled rubber. Alongside the clear back of the case, you have these metallic looking edges, which you can get in black, red and green. I think this is a nice touch as they should go with the colours of the S22 Ultra as well. The sides are nice and smooth, but do make it feel a little bit slippery. However, they also make the phone and case feel really solid and almost like you don't have a case on at all. This case also has nice flexible buttons which feel really good as there's a contrast in materials of the rubber and plastic. Also, a shout out to the recent change in Olixar's packaging, as it's now a much more environmentally friendly box. However, if the environment is what you're looking to protect, then the next case will be for you. This LifeProof case not only looks fantastic, but is actually made from 50% recycled plastic. Reading the back of the box, it seems this plastic has actually come from the ocean, although it's not 100% clear, unlike the back of the case. Along with the crystal clear back is a lovely blue frame with some accented volume and power buttons in a sort of high-vis yellow. The case is also available with a black frame, but does not have accented power buttons on that one, which is a shame. The case feels nice in the hands, although as the plastic is all the way over the back, it does feel a little bit slippery and will also get scratched a good amount as there's no rubber to lift it off flat surfaces. Overall, a great looking case which will protect your phone and the environment. However, it could get scratched up quite easily. Next up, we have Ghostek's Covert case for the S22 Ultra. Another clear case, but one that offers some serious drop protection. As you can see from the clear corners, there is an added absorption layer which should help with transferring the shock around your phone rather than through it. The case is a little bit bulkier than the other clear backed ones we've had because of this added protection. But the buttons do not suffer for this thanks to slits on either side, which makes them really nice and clicky. This case is also available in pink and smoked black, which is nice as they're both still clear but have the added colour, which is a good touch. I will say though, this seems to attract fingerprints a little bit more than the other clear back cases that we've had. It's not a big deal, but if you're someone who likes to have a very clean looking phone, this one might not be for you. Next up, we have a different take on a clear case. This butterfly case from LoveCases is a normal gel case with this lovely butterfly pattern on. I think this case is great, as you can still have your personal favourite coloured phone while having another personal touch added. They have many other styles to choose from, so you don't have to have this exact one. The case is very flexible, so it's easy to get on and off the phone. It is also very thin, so it's barely noticeable once it is on the phone. Because of this, the buttons are easy to press, but mainly because there's not much material in the way. This all does come at the cost of protection though. While this will provide you with some scratch and some minor drop protection, I would not want to risk my phone in it too much. So if you're someone who drops your phone often, this one is probably not for you. Next up, we have a new case from Samsung. This silicone case with strap. This is something we've previously seen on the Samsung Z Flip 3. I was very much a fan of it then. Now, if you're not a fan of it, you can get the Samsung silicone case without the strap. This type of case is available in white with the green strap and this blue with a bright orange strap. However, the straps can actually be swapped out and Samsung has teased Disney doing some straps for it. I think it looks fantastic. It's definitely not for everyone as it's quite in your face, so probably won't look quite right with a suit. However, I think that's part of the charm of the case. The silicone part is nice, it feels smooth and grippy, but not to the point that it's going to turn your jean pocket inside out when you're trying to answer the phone. On the back, we have this big strap with this metal loop on the end. In theory, you could attach this loop to your jeans or bag with a clip. However, I doubt that anyone's going to be doing this. What I found useful is that you can slide your hand through the strap, which gives you a little bit more security as the phone is essentially attached to you. Perfect as the S22 Ultra is a pretty big phone. The only downside to this case is that the buttons, although not awful, are just made from the silicone, which makes pressing them a little bit less satisfying when compared to some of the other cases we've had. Next up, we have this OtterBox Symmetry case in purple, which is probably going to provide you with the best drop protection for the S22 Ultra. It feels pretty large and bulky in the hands, but that's because it gives you incredible protection. I particularly love the colour of this purple one. It certainly stands out in the sea of black cases for the S22 Ultra. A downside to all this protection is that there's a lot of material in the way of you actually pressing the buttons. This means that you have to press fairly hard and actually look at the phone to make sure you've pressed it. It's not terrible, but it's just not great. Overall, it is definitely a great case if you're a bit clumsy with your phone. On the front, it does provide you with some good screen protection with the top and bottom lip of the phone. So that means if you put it face down on a table, you should not have any worries about scratching the screen. Last but not least, we have Spigen's Neo Hybrid case. Now, Spigen makes some fantastic cases, and this is certainly no different. It's nice and easy to get on the phone, but won't come off easily. The buttons feel absolutely fantastic to press, as there's nice slits next to them. On the bottom, there's a little bit more room around the S Pen cutout, which should make taking it in and out that bit easier. However, my favourite thing about this case is the design and feel in the hands. It has this lovely pattern on the back, which gives it a nice texture without it being really grippy. Then it has this plastic bar that stretches across the back and the sides. It makes it feel solid in the hands and less like you have a case on the phone. I do think that this plastic might scratch and dent fairly easily, and it's definitely not the most protective case that Spigen has to offer. But it is probably one of the best looking in my opinion. I just wish that they would produce their cases in more colours, as just having black as an option is definitely not the best. There you go, 10 cases for the S22 Ultra. My personal favourites have to be the clear view case, thanks to its all-round protection while still being able to see notifications through the window. Then probably the Olixar Novashield for its minimal design and good colour options. And then finally, I have to give it to Spigen because it just feels amazing in the hands. If you want to pick up any of the cases shown today, check the links in the description below. And if you want to see more S22 videos, please subscribe as ours is arriving on the 25th.